In chapter 2, we represent the data using graphics representations. Now, in this chapter 3, we are representing the data numerically. The first section is about the measures of the central tendency. There are a few objectives in this section. The first one, we are trying to determine the arithmetic mean of a variable from the raw data. Arithmetic mean, or the average. This is computed by adding all the values of the variable in the data set and then dividing by the number of the observations. We also have something called the population mean or mu. This is computed using all the individuals in the population. This is a parameter. So let's say you have x1, x2, all the way to xn, and they are the n observations of a variable from a population. Then the population mean, mu, is equal to the sum of all of them, x1 plus x2 all the way to xn, and then divide by the big N. This is the number of the observations. And we use the sigma summation notation, xi, that means we sum all of the x value together, and then divide by n. Now, we also have the sample mean, or x bar. This is computed by using the sample data. So this is only a portion of the population. So this is a sample. Sample is a statistics. Population is a parameter. Remember, from chapter 1, the letter P go with P. The letter S go with S. Sample goes with statistic. Population goes with parameter. So again, if we have x1, x2, all the way to xn are the small n observations of a variable from a sample, then the sample mean x bar is just the sum of them divided by n. And you have to do this by hand on the exam as well. Okay, for example, the following data represent the travel times in minutes to work for all the 7 employees of a stock of web development companies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 data points. Compute the population mean of this data. That means the whole thing. The population is the whole thing. It's everything. So we add all of them and we divide by 7 because we have 7 data points. So that's give me 24.9. Now, use the sample of 4 employees given below. Again, the sample is just a small portion of the population. So we have 4 of them here. To find the sample mean, we just add 4 of them. And because there are 4, divide by 4 to get 22.5. And then another example, use a sample of 4 employees given below to compute the sample mean again. We have 4 different order data points. We add all of them together and then divide by 4. What do you notice about the 3 different means found in part A to C? Again, because we are using 3 different sets of data, we found 3 different values, of course. Okay, the next objective is to determine the median of a variable from the raw data. Median, or the big M. This is the value of the variable that lies in the middle of the data when arranged in ascending order. And this value separates the bottom 50% of the data from the top 50%. And there are a few steps in finding the median of a data set. the very first step is to arrange the data in the ascending order, smallest to the biggest. Determine the number of the observations, and then the last one, determine the observation in the middle of the data set. Now, if you have the number of the observation to be the odd numbers, then the median is the data value that is exactly in the middle of the data set. Now, if the number of the observation is even, then the median is the mean of the two middle observations in the data set. Okay, let's see the example. Finding the median travel times for 7 employees, again from the last example. The first thing is you have to arrange the data from smallest to the largest. So 5 is the smallest number. So make sure I put them in the order. And then I see that the middle value is 23. Below that we have 3 numbers. Above that we have 3 numbers. So this is the middle value, 23, which is the median. Now let's try with this example. We also want to determine the median of this data set, the sample. Now again, I list them from smaller to larger. Now, because we don't have a middle number, we have 2 of them to be the middle values. So all we do now, we add all of them, divide by 2. Because this is the even number of observations. So you need to add the 2 middle values and then divide by 2. The same thing to the last data set of these 4 values. Again, I put them from smaller to larger, and there are 2 middle values. I add them together, divide by 2. Because we don't have a single middle value. So we have 2 of them in the middle. You need to add all of them, divide by 2. And what do you notice about the medians found in the previous problems as compared to the means? Again, they still differ, but less than the means differ. Resistance. This is a numerical summary, mean, median, etc. of the data in which extreme values very large or very small relative to the data do not affect its value substantially. Now we are going to find the mean and the median on our calculators. Again, I'm using the TI-84 to find the mean and the median. The first thing is you need to input the values or the data into your graphing calculator. Now all we do now is I use the list L1, L2, L3, or L4, but just for easy I just use the list L1. So all you do now is we hit the start button on the calculator, and then we highlight the edit, and then hit the enter, and then we hit the enter after inputting each number into the list of L1. Now to find the mean, again we hit the start. Now we move the right arrow to calculation and then hit the enter, and then we move down to 1 variance statistics and then hit the enter key. And then before that, make sure you input the L1, because we store the data in the L1 list. So make sure you hit the second L1 or the number 1 to get you the L1 list, because L1 represents the whole list of data. And then we are doing the 1 variance statistic for L1 because we store the data in the L1 list. And now we hit the enter. It displays the mean and so on. So in this case, we see that 24.85, this is the mean that you saw earlier. Right here, 24.8. Let's go back here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the mean we found earlier, this is the median, not the mean. The mean is right here. Right here. 24.9. So go down here. It's right here. 24.85. So it's very close to 24.9. Okay, and then in order to clear a list, you just have to arrow to the top of the list until the list name such as L1 is highlighted, and then hit the clear button followed by the enter, and make sure to hit the clear, not to delete them. And then if you put the down arrow here, you see more information down here. But for now, we are just looking for the mean, and the mean is the X bar symbol here. Relation between the mean, median, and the distribution shape. Okay. Again, we have 3 different shapes we saw earlier. This is the bell shape. This is symmetric. And if you have a symmetric shape, your mean and your median, they should be close to each other, or the mean roughly equal to the median, so that you have the peak to be at the center. Now if you have the skew left, then the mean is less than your median. It's toward to the left side, so you have a longer tail of the left. If you have a skew right, then the mean is going all the way to the right, so that you have a longer tail on the right side, so that it makes the graph skewed right. Again, the median is the middle value, so normally it's in the middle. The next objective is to determine the mode of a variable from the raw data. The mode is the most frequent observation of a variable that occurs in the data set. A set of data can have no mode, one mode, or more than one mode. If all observations have the same frequency, then the data set has no mode. If there are 2 observations that occur with the highest frequency, then the data is bimodal. Two modes. And if there are more than 2 observations that occur with the highest frequency, then the data is multimodal. So 1 mode, 2 mode, 2 highest frequency bimodal, and so on. Now in this example, finding the mode of the data set, a sample of 30 registered voters was surveyed, in which the respondents were asked, do you consider your political views to be conservative, moderate, or liberal? The results of the survey are shown in the table. We have 30 of them. Determine the mode for the political views. Now we have 3 different types: conservative, moderate, and liberal. Now we count them. For conservative, we have 1, 2, 3 here, 4, 5, 6 here, 7. There should be 8 of them. Okay, let's count again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have 8 of them. For moderate, if you count all of them, you have 12, and liberal, we have 10. So this is the highest frequency, which is the mode for this survey. Okay, a summary of the measures of the central tendency. We have 3 different types of the measurement for the central tendency: the mean, median, or the mode. The mean, we sum all of them, we divide by the number of the observations. The median is the middle value. There are 2 types. If the observation is the even number, you add the 2 middle values, divide by 2. If the observation is the odd number, then it's just the middle value for the median. And the mode is the most frequent observation, the data that has the highest frequency. Okay, so that is the end of section 3.1.